Welcome to Gong Interval Yoga. Today's practice is designed to open up your chest, lungs and heart center. A great practice to deepen your breath, energize your body and awaken the heart. So when you're ready, get on your mat and let's get started. Come to all fours. Cat-cow, so dipping your back and then arching your back. Dipping and arching. Getting into the spine here. Each vertebrae wakening up. Push that chest out and then lift up, curving the shoulders. Letting the gong transition us here, fold back, buttocks to the heels and up straight. Then dip down that pelvis and come into an upward dog. So pull back, straightening out the arms, push your buttocks towards your heels, lengthen the back, come back to the front, dipping your pelvis down, lifting your chest. We're not going fully into this move, we're warming up. Grab a cushion if that might be useful for you. Keep your knees hip width apart, a little bit wider maybe, and then dip down from your hips, coming down with your chest towards the ground, leaning your chin or your forehead on the pillow. If you can get down further, you can take that cushion away, put your forehead on the ground or your chin on the ground. This opens up the chest. Breathe. Come back on all fours and let's go into a downward dog. So lift up your pelvis, push your heels towards the floor. Wiggle into this a little bit, lifting and lowering the heels. Lengthen out your back. Drop your head. Enjoy the stretch. Down onto our stomach. Your elbows are just below your shoulders. Come into a sphinx, so lifting up your chest and then down onto the mat again. This is the dynamic part of our sequence to warm up all the joints and get ready for our traditional asana. So down and straight back up. Hold our sphinx now. So elbows beneath the shoulders. Pull up your chest. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Look straight ahead, maybe slightly upwards. And breathe into your chest, into the lungs that are expanding. Just there. Back onto all fours and leaning back and stretching out your arms for a second before we come back up into our downward dog. Push your heels towards the floor. Come straight out of downward dog with your knees on the ground and pull back onto your heels. And again, lifting up, pull up the pelvis, down onto your heels and down again onto your knees. Pull back over your heels, lengthening the arms. Nice and limber now to come into our other moves. So once again, elbows are just about below the shoulders. Come up a little bit higher this time, lengthening the arms but keeping a slight bend in them. And then pull your shoulder blades down again, open up your chest, cobra. Wonderful chest opener. Breathe into it. Turning around now on the mat, sitting in a cross-legged position, we're going to swing our arms from side to side into a gentle twist, coming to the other side of that knee and just twisting around. Getting the spine limbered up here and also opening up into the chest at the same time. Grab a block if that might be useful for you to put your hand on. Otherwise, you can just put your fingers or your hand on the floor and look behind you whilst you get that hand on your knee and lift your chest. So our classic twist from yoga, looking behind you, opening the chest, resting that hand on your knee and trying to keep both of your hips facing forward as much as possible. Breathing. Let's go to the other side. Use your block if necessary. Swing that arm behind you to wherever you can get to, feeling the opening in your shoulder. You can pull slightly with the hand on the knee to get more of a twist. Lift from the top of your head like you've got a string pulling you up tall. Just there. Transitioning now. Come around onto all fours. This move might be a little bit challenging, but just see where you get to and enjoy it. So up into downward dog, and then immediately with one of those legs, push it under the other leg and then turn around. Your back is facing the ground. Open your chest and come straight back out of it. Other leg goes underneath. Turn around. Your belly is towards the ceiling. Open your other arm, chest opener here. Let's do that again. But this time hold the move. So flip around. Open up that arm. Open up that chest. Stay here. If it feels too much for you, just come straight back out of it, take a break, and maybe get back in. Swing that arm, that up arm, right around in a circle, opening the chest muscles. Swinging the arm above the head, opening to the side and around to the front. Well done. Fantastic move. Onto all fours. Let's go to the other side. So leg under the body, flip around, belly to the ceiling, and open that arm. Now begin circling it over your head and around to the side, and again. Getting into all the joints and the tendons and the muscles, allowing the opening of the chest and the upper back, strength and flexibility. Well done. Let's take a well-deserved break here. Child's pose. Forward on the floor, arms flopping down by your sides, and your whole body relaxing into the posture. Breathing out. Up onto your knees. We're doing a great job here of opening up our chest and our heart. Let's swing those arms behind us, and we'll have the blocks there to come down to for our camel afterwards, if that's useful for you. So warming up the shoulders and the chest, swing those arms behind you. So you can use the blocks at a height to open up your chest, lean back on those blocks, or come into your traditional camel leaning on your heels. So push your pelvis forward, lift your chest, open up your heart, and drop the hands, if that's okay for you, onto your heels. Breathing. Up we come. So we're going to do that again, but starting from a kneeling position with your hands on your heels, and then coming up straight away, pushing your pelvis forward, and then flipping up, opening your chest, leaning back. If you don't have any problems with your neck, you can drop your head behind, but for some people it's more comfortable to keep their neck aligned. Last few seconds. Finishing that move. Down on the ground, child's pose. This is a counter pose for our arching camel. A forward fold, but a very gentle one. Compensates for the other move and gives you a chance to take a break and rest. Transitioning now with the Gong onto all fours and into downward dog. Really enjoy this downward dog. Your body is nice and warm. Heels towards the ground. They don't have to reach the ground. If they can, get them down there. Lengthen your back. Keep your fingers wide and your weight spread evenly. Drop your head. Bring one leg through into a low lunge. You can grab some blocks if that's handy for you to come on up. Otherwise, put your hands on your knee. Stay there or lift your arms in the air, bring them behind you, and do it again. So circling the arms, bending them as they come behind, lifting them there, pulling down your scapula. And again, wide arms. Ready for our traditional asana. You can keep your hands on your knees or clasp them behind you and then push out, palms outwards. Open the chest, lift your head a little bit, looking towards the ceiling. Feel the expanse of this move. Opening your heart center, allowing the energy to come in. Remember, you can go to wherever you get to today. Lift up into downward dog. Even out the hips here. Turn your thigh muscles slightly inwards. Drop your chest and your sternum. Drop your head. Last few seconds. Come through the other leg, and we'll do all of that on this side. So into a lunge, raising up and pulling your arms behind you. So lifting up, open the arms, pull your scapula down, and do that again. If this is too difficult for you, stay with your hands on your knee. So circle those arms, open and around, pull down your shoulder blades, pull down your elbows. Requires a little bit of balance too. So into our traditional lunge, keep your hands on your knees if that's easier for you, or bring them behind your back, clasp your hands and push your palms outwards. This really rotates your shoulders, gives you that lovely wide chest. Take a moment to breathe. A little bit challenging, you can do it. A few seconds more. Lovely. Last child's pose. Counterbalance to our chest openers. Just take this second to appreciate the work that you're doing here today, the time that you are giving yourself that you deserve. Relax out into the mat. Come around to the front of the mat, cross-legged position. Open one arm and drop it down slightly behind you and out to the side. Let's do the other side. Open that arm slightly behind to the side. Getting into the side body now. Leaning over a little bit as you do this. Fluidity, mobility. Starting on one side, just fold over there with one leg bent and then lift up your side body. It's a fun move. Open up your chest, open up that arm, leaning slightly backwards. Expanding the body, the side body, the chest, the back, breathing. Flip over to the other side, one knee bent, leaning on the ground, and then roll onto your shin here. Roll up, open the body, lift that hip up. Arm in the air, can be directly up or a little bit behind, which just gives your shoulders a bit more of an opening. And as we're doing a heart opener here, we want our chest nice and expanded. Loosen out your neck. Well done. Let's go down our backs. Beginning to wind down our practice now. A few more moves. Hug in your knees. Place your feet on the ground and then hug them again. Not quite on the ground and then hug them again. Stretching out the lower back here. Cross one leg over the other, hooking one knee on top of the other, and then pull those two knees towards your chest. If you can, grab both of your feet. So your knees are still crossed, and then pull your feet towards your body. This will compress your chest a little, but will open your glutes. Take a breath out here. Lovely. Do that again on the other side. So just cross over the feet the other way. Pull your knees towards your chest. And then pull your feet towards your body. We're going to use this to push the air out of our lungs so that afterwards when we breathe in, we've got a nice expanse. So take a breath out here. And then when your legs open up again, breathe in deeply. Lovely. Feet on the ground, knees bent into our bridge. Lift up your pelvis up to the top and then come straight back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Okay, rolling up from your chest, your middle body, your hips, and then rolling back down from your back of your chest, middle body, and hips. All done now. Just bring your knees together here. Drop them together. We're going to start our deep relaxation. Please take these couple of minutes if you can. So relax into the mat. This position helps your lower back readjust after a lot of back bends in this practice. Relax all of the muscles. If you can, please stay here just for another 30 seconds. One hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. Notice your breath without changing it, without judging it. And then let that image go. You have turned up today and been present and opened your heart. If you'd like to stay more time relaxing in Shavasana, please feel free to do so. Or if you need to get on with your day, come on up just for this last second and close the practice with me today. Check in with yourself. Relax your shoulders. Thank yourself for being here for this practice. And thank you for doing Gong Interval Yoga. Please subscribe and like if you'd like to see more of these videos.